First things first, your angry side. Now, I'm only talking about this if you're somebody who has a normal level of aggression, right? Not the freaking not Chucky's out there. We're talking about people who have a normal temperament. If you have an angry side, then your angry side is really a turn off. Your angry side is problematic. But if you're a normal person, your angry side is your defensive side. Your angry side only comes out when there's moments of clear injustice. And what people don't understand is that people find that attractive. Why? Because usually when you meet people that you like, you usually show them one face. You usually have a very limited range of emotions when you like someone. But when you don't like someone, or when you don't want something from someone, your range of emotions is more varied. It's more diverse, right? It becomes limited when you like someone because you only want to show them certain parts of your personality. What you don't understand is that people get used to seeing your face in a certain state of mood so much that they want variety. And it's also with your tone of voice. And also people require to see your angry side for them to have a sense of respect. They need to sense the tip of the spear. They need to see how sharp that knife is, relatively speaking. People put the knife down, right? So you want to be able to show that. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you don't show your anger. You don't show your harshness for any little thing. Like freaking they drop a bottle and all of a sudden you're showing your dark side. No. We're talking about these are things that you want to do on rare occasions. You want to show your harshness in rare occasions, and also you want to show your kindness, your ultra kindness on rare occasion. Meaning ultra kindness isn't saying baby I love you. Ultra kindness means giving them a surprise gift all of a sudden. Ultra kindness means doing something that's above and beyond that you usually do. You have people who do above and beyond things all the freaking time to the point where you become desensitized to it. Similar to having a lot of sugar, you develop a tolerance to it, right? So remember, this is what shows them that you have depth to your character. Whenever you don't see darkness in people, whenever you don't sense the darkness, whenever you don't sense their angry, their aggressive side, first of all, you know that's bullshit. And second of all, you sense that there's no depth to your character. Your dark side is what is the contours to your personality. It is what gives you volume. But if you don't show that, and that means in your face, tone of voice, and action, a little vindictiveness, a little unforgivingness, that will actually draw people to you. And somebody who thought you were weak, as soon as they see that, if you look at their minds, if you look at the way they process things, a part of them will feel more attracted to you because that's a new face, a new tone of voice, and it feels like that's another side to your personality, which makes them say, okay, what else is there? So that's the first one. The second one is the ability to notice detail. People do not fall in love people fall in love in detail, meaning there's nothing more charming than somebody who's paying deep attention to us, somebody who we want, right? But there's nothing more anti-seductive. There's nothing more anticlimactic than someone who doesn't pay attention to detail. Somebody who doesn't know your birthday. Somebody who doesn't notice you actually are in a lower mood. Somebody who doesn't notice when you're happy and when you're sad. Somebody who doesn't notice when your mood is different. Somebody who doesn't notice when you want attention. Somebody who doesn't know your likes and dislikes. Somebody who doesn't know what is your favorite this, what is your favorite that. Nothing is more attractive than somebody who we like, not the creepazoids, than somebody who we like, who pays attention to the details of who we are. That draws people to you, right? Because it says romanticism. It makes the person feel cared for. It's one of those things that regresses people back to the childlike state. Why? Because nobody paid more attention to us, or should have, than our parents. Anytime somebody pays deep attention to us and notices the little thing, you get the same hit of validation that you had when you were a child. And that is deeply flattering. Deeply flattering. So you want to be able to show people that you notice the detail, that you notice their favorite restaurant, that you notice who they hate the most, who they like the most, that you know what makes them envious, that you know their trigger points, that you know what offends them, what makes them laugh. All of those things will make you unique in their eyes. Why? Because people rarely know us for who we are. They rarely do. And above all, they rarely accept us for who we are. Now, we're not talking about accepting freaking Michael Myers and accepting his flaws. No, we're talking about accepting somebody who has flaws that don't really like hurt you directly. You get what I'm saying? Like we talking like we're not like if my man is a renowned serial killer, like okay, that's a little different, right? But if he smokes cigarettes and he wants to stop smoking cigarettes, right? If he likes to spend his money on I don't fucking know, on Yu-Gi-Oh cards and likes to smoke weed, you know, there's some things you could accept. You know, there are some flaws. Maybe maybe she's impatient. Maybe she's a little jealous. There's some things that you could accept, right? But the point is, pay attention to the details of people, and people will find that extremely flattering. Why? Because nothing hurts our feelings. Nothing is more anti-seductive than somebody who forgets the details of us, forgets our birthday, forgets what we like, forgets our dislikes. Right, forgets the plan that we had, or when they do a surprise for you, they don't pay attention to the little details. I don't give a fuck if you did a surprise. Make sure that the surprise maybe has my favorite dish. Make sure that the surprise maybe has my favorite this, that. The little details is what draws people to you, right? And that's one thing that they just cannot resist in you when you do that. But that's only for people who deserve it. That's only for people who have proven themselves to you. So that's why I said in the beginning, you don't do this. In the beginning, you kind of do, try to impress them, but this is symbiotic. This has to be a back and forth. If you could do the first step of showing them that you pay attention to detail, and then let them wait, and then wait for them to do the next thing. Don't give them a gift, and then another gift, and then another gift. What the hell is this? Make a wish? Come on, man. Next one. The presence of the opposite sex within you and outside of you. Nothing is more seductive than the opposite sex in a person. Meaning, when me as a man, Trump supporter, when me as a man embrace my feminine, it complements my masculine, right? Just like sweetness complements salty, just like crunchiness complements soft, just like black complements white, blue complements red. Right, the opposites complement each other. Without the opposites, there's not going to have that symbiotic friction that creates a bigger entity than the separate things separately. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like the masculine and the feminine create something bigger than the individual masculine and feminine. But also, the opposite sex, not just in you, but on the outside, enhances your attractiveness. Meaning, working for someone who's the opposite sex, admiring somebody of the opposite sex, right? Having a friend of the opposite sex, right? Even if they're gay, right? Oh, just the presence of somebody who's the opposite sex next to you makes you look more attractive. Just because of the threat. They're the opposite sex. There's a chance that maybe this person could go after you. Even if it isn't, the slight threat, the slight truth behind that, right? Because it's true, creates an intensification of your attractiveness. Remember, the opposite always enhances the other, right? The man always enhances the woman, and vice versa. Another woman will make me look more attractive, and my presence makes the other woman more attractive. My inner woman makes my masculine more attractive, and the inner man in a woman makes her feminine more attractive. Nothing's better than a woman who has some masculine qualities, right? Like it's or habits. It's really attractive. No one likes completeness in one area. They like diversity, right? All right. So the next one is your independence. Your independence tells people that I like you, but if you leave, I can live without you. Nothing pisses off people more knowing that without them, you're still going to be happy. I'm like, bitch, why you happy? Like, what's your therapist? Right? It hurts the ego. Why? Because, for example, one of the things about human nature is that when people secretly want people to be unhappy in their absence. Like, I honestly, imagine you're a dead person and you go back to your funeral and Granny is fucking doing the worm, freaking Grandpa doing the spinneroonie, and people doing the fucking train. It's like, nah, I'll be a pissed off ghost. I'm fucking hunting all of you motherfuckers for eternity, right? So it's kind of like people want to feel that when you're not there, it hurts. So whenever you give them a slight sensation that possibly without you, you're still going to be happy, ladies and gentlemen, that offends people. And that offense makes them want your validation. It makes them want you to be more attached to them, to the point that if one day they leave, you're gonna be crying, going to my channel, purchasing my courses, right? So remember that. It's your independence offends them. Right? It offends them, right? It's like, why are you happy without me? But at the same time, it makes them want your validation more. But also, not just your independence, right? It's also you telling them to be independent. It's also you pushing them to be more by themselves. You pushing them to go out and hang out with their friends without you. You pushing them to develop self-autonomy. And that is healthy, but also it shows them that you have a certain sense of independence that does offend them. But it also makes you more attractive, right? It shows them that, you know what, this person, I like them, I want to be with them, but also I know that they're not too suffocating. That is attractive. It's a plus, even though it hurts, even though they do want you to be depending on them. It's a mixed feeling. It's sadness, but also the fact that there's also positive feelings behind that. And anything that has mixed feelings creates perfect friction, right? Having your goals and your own vision of your life that doesn't include them tends to make you more attractive because it pushes them away, right? So the next point, so we have angry side, ability to notice detail, your presence, right? And then your independence, right? And then your absence, right? What kind of goes with it, but it doesn't, right? Your absence, when you're not there, the mind fills in the gaps. Just like how some people develop tinnitus because there's hearing loss. The hearing loss doesn't create sound, but the fact that the brain is used to a certain level of sound, when it's not there, it recreates it, right? The same thing happens with your imagination. When you're used to someone, when they're not there, your brain is used to them. So it creates in your mind intense, vivid images with moving images, with sensations, and with emotions that go along with it. With those emotions tend to make you want that thing to happen in reality, which meaning it creates longing and it creates pain. Just like if you actually go to a deprivation tank, what tends to happen, like where you isolate your senses, where you feel nothing physically, you hear nothing, you see nothing, right? And you taste nothing. What tends to happen is that the brain begins to create hallucinations, visual hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, even sensory hallucinations when you're in an isolated environment. And that is an exaggeration of what happens when somebody's not there, where your brain will expect to see them. They made you happy, so your brain uses dopamine to create expectations, excitement to see them. Where they're not there, there is a release of cortisol, which causes you to feel bad, causes you to remember the person that you lost, and creates more longing, like a drug addict wanting his drug when it's not there. It comes with intense images. That makes you more attractive. That makes you more desirable in a person's mind, right? Absence, like Robert Greene says, increases honor and it increases respect. If you don't have the respect from someone, you just need to be a little bit more absent. The sixth one is your The sixth one is your unique style, right? Your unique style, your unique style will make you stand out in the person's mind, right? That is an undeniable thing. Your unique style. It's one thing to look normal, like a normal person. There's nothing wrong with that. But we don't understand there is a mystical power in having a unique style that looks like it came from a person's imagination, right? And I'm not saying to walk around like a Cleopatra, but I mean to include an element of the mystical, an element of the spiritual, an element of fantasy, right? So that means you got to take risks. What you have to do is look in yourself. What type of style do you like? What do you like to? What are some things that people might not like that you like? What are some styles from guys or from women that you want to adopt? What's a cartoon character that you enjoy that you want to adopt to your personality? What celebrity has a certain style or certain this or that you like? For example, me, I like it when you see people who have like rings around their hair, right? I noticed that a year ago. I kind of like that. I want to have that. So one day I'm gonna find that, I'm gonna put that, and that is gonna add to my style that expresses my personality. But people love that. People love people who have a unique style, unique haircut. But it has to go with your personality. People can sense when it's fake because things that just don't add up. It's like a meal that's like fucking having ramen, pizza, and a fucking asparagus. It's like, this makes no sense, right? Like there's no harmony behind it, right? It's not harmonious. To have a style that's harmonious, you just have to look inside of yourself, because you are already harmonious. Find out what you like and don't like, and then don't be afraid to show it, right? You want to poeticize that presence. Have a mix of the spiritual to you. Maybe something, if you're a spiritual person, play with the spiritual. Find out who you are. Are you more of a hippie? Embrace that. Are you more of an intellectual? Embrace the intellectual. You know, if you more of an artist, start dressing in a prototypical artist way, and then find out what other styles you like. All of that will make you stand out in their minds, because when they think of you, they're not just gonna think of freaking Bob the freaking caseworker. When they see you in their minds, they're gonna see an image that's larger than life. If, for example, if a guy likes, if I like anime, and there's a girl that has like an anime that looks like Sailor Moon, let me tell you something, man. Your look is gonna make you stand out in my mind so intensely, because you just look so unique to me, right? Maybe a guy likes cowboy girls, and there's a girl who wears cowboy shit, right? Who has a cowboy style, right? That girl, just because of the way she looks, just because it's almost like a costume, right? People don't understand that people who have a unique style, people treat them differently. It's like a uniform. People like uniforms. When you dress like everyone else, you're not gonna have that uniform effect. But when you have a unique style to you, people will literally treat you differently and assume that you are different. Like, for example, me, I have this because I would never wear it. I mean, I would wear it, but one time I saw somebody wear this, right? And it was actually shorter, and I was actually planning on growing it, right? And I was like, I kind of like that. Never put too much thought, but because I liked it, I said to myself, I have to have that, right? And that's the thing. There are things that people wear that you like, but you just are afraid to do it. Whatever you like in people, try to adopt it. For example, the guy had a short one. This one is longer. Why? You want to know why it's longer? Because when I was walking around, there was a guy who was doing these things, but he only had the long ones. So I was like, you know what? It may not be what I want, but I think I like it. And I did it, and I liked it. You know, sometimes you just have to take risk. And when people fall in love with you, they're going to find your unique style is going to be like a plus. It's not going to, like, you're not going to fall in love with someone just because they play the piano. But if they play the piano really well, you know, if they play the piano, it's a plus. It's not going to, you're not going to say marry me, but just the fact that you play the piano, that's a plus, right? Your unique style is always a plus, because when they think of you, they're not going to think of a normal person. They're going to see an image that's larger than life, because your style, it's larger than life. It's unique to you. Remember, there's normal way of dressing, and then there's unique styles that expresses your personality. You got to find that. Like, you got to, and sometimes it takes a while, because me, when I was younger, I didn't have my personal style. I had the Dominican style, right? Freaking tight clothes and shit, right? Polos, right? But then as I grew up, I became more confident. I became more comfortable. You start to play around with things, and your style does matter. Like, so you got to find out who are you trying to be in the world, and express and say who you are through the way you dress. I was a spiritual person. I was open-minded. I was into art, but my style never showed that. Everything about me has to tell you who I am. I have to tell you that I'm an artist, free spirit, that I like to have fun, that I'm chilled out. So I make sure that I have things that says, oh, I think he meditates. Look at that. Oh, he does that. Oh, he does, by the way that I dress. Tell people who you are by the way that you dress. If you're a spiritual person, dress spiritual, so that they know, so that then they can give you those positive associations. The next thing, right, and this one is actually kind of interesting, and that's your uniqueness in general, right? Your uniqueness. Now, the funny thing, right, is that your uniqueness, to return to the other point, by the way, having a personal style will make people remember you more. Like, if you're somebody who's forgettable, having a unique style that expresses you will make you more memorable. But remember, your uniqueness is what's going to make people fall in love with you. But also, your uniqueness is what people are going to use. It is what people are going to hate once they stop loving you. Also, your uniqueness is what their brain is going to use to justify not getting over you. For example, let's just say you left them, right? And let's just say you were a scientist, and your favorite science was bugs, right? And you're dating, and you're somebody who's a biologist, and you never met a girl who loves science as much as you do. It doesn't matter how bland this girl is. The fact that you like biology, science, especially the science of bugs, and maybe you kind of look like a nerd, where you look like Belma from Scooby Doo, and you look like a nerd, like a nerdy nerd, right? What's gonna happen is that when they recall you and when they try to get over you, their brain is gonna say, I can't get over this person because they like biology and they look like a nerd. They're perfect for me. You might be the most bland person, but what makes you a nerd, and you might say, oh, I'm so insecure, I'm a nerd, I like bugs. To that person, they're gonna say that's gonna be the one thing that in their minds they can't get over. Right? That's gonna be the one thing that in their minds they cannot stop thinking about you. That is the one image in their mind, or the quality that they're gonna stop, that they're not gonna be able to stop thinking about. Let's just say you do martial arts, and you're a jiu-jitsu guy, and you're dating a girl who also likes jiu-jitsu, right? And maybe this girl also maybe she has muscles too, right? And she might say, oh, I'm too muscular, and she even sounds like that, right? She's trying to, I'm too masculine, right? To that guy, that girl, to me, if I'm that guy, that girl, if I break up with her, I'm gonna think of that. I'm gonna say, yo, like, you know how rare it is to meet a girl who likes jiu-jitsu and who's fucking yoked to the bone, right? And that unique quality in her, it's what's gonna make it difficult for you to get over. Not the blandness bullshit, but the one few qualities that makes her unique. So one thing that you're not gonna be able to get over, right? So you gotta realize, your uniqueness is a two-edged sword. It is what people love about you, and it is what people hate about you. I have that uniqueness. And not like in general, like, oh, I'm unique, but I have my unique qualities that people love, but also people hate that unique quality about me. So in life, you have to find out, you have to know what makes you unique as a person. Maybe you have a weird personality. Maybe you have weird interests. Maybe you have a weird sense of humor. Maybe you have a weird way of looking at the world. Maybe you like a weird instrument. Maybe you like to watch a weird show. Maybe you like to eat certain weird types of food. Maybe you use a weird vernacular. Maybe you have a weird look. Maybe you have weird habits. Maybe you have weird rituals. Those things about you, when people fall in love with you, are the things that they're going to think of and are the things that they're going to love the most about you as a person. They're going to love all of that thing that makes you unique as a person. But also, it's what they're going to end up hating. They might like your sense of humor now, and they love you, but that might be the thing that they end up hating towards the end, right? It's one of those funny ironic thing. And the last thing that people that they cannot resist in you is your empathy and understanding. You have to understand, man, people don't feel understood in this world. People never feel heard. People don't feel known by people. Why? Because they're afraid that if they show you who they are, you're going to judge them. And the truth is, most people do judge you. But if you're able to give the impression to people that you accept them from who they are, if you show people that you have dark qualities in you that maybe are unacceptable, it might make them feel comfortable enough to tell you their unacceptable qualities. It's very important to get people to open up about those things they fear being rejected by. Now, if they're a criminal, right? If they have some weird, freaky dicky darkness, we all know what we're talking about, man. There's some things that, well, like, you're on your own, boo-boo. Like, if that's your dark side, don't tell me, because I am not going to be with you. We all know what those are, right? Some evil shit, right? But there are some things that are people like that. That is weird, but that they're afraid to tell people, right? I'll tell people that I like to party, right? That I might like to do certain recreational things, right? Right? I have certain addictions that might not be healthy. Okay, and those things people don't like to tell people, right? But on my channel, I tell people that because, one, I'm stupid like that, right? I tell people the things that sabotage me sometimes, right? But also, what people don't understand is that when you open up about your dark qualities, people also open up about their own dark qualities, right? And what people want, people don't understand is people want to show you who they are. The most evil people who have secrets want to reveal their secrets. People who have dark sides want to reveal their dark side. People, you don't understand this. The dark side is an aggressive energy that wants to be understood and that wants to be in the light. And it takes a lot of effort to hide that, and people are dying to tell their secrets. There's a lot of murders out there that want to tell people the dark shit that they did. There's a lot of people who did a lot of shitty things that want to find someone whom they could tell. And it's and this is where the understanding and the empathy come. We're not talking about criminals, right? We're talking about you listening to them and having and giving them the sensation that you accept them for who they are. That is highly attractive, highly irresistible, because when they feel like you understand them and you still love them back, you are irreplaceable. When they know you know their dark side and you still like them, you in their minds you're irreplaceable. Because even though they might be attractive, some people might not like that and push away, and they most likely experience that or they fear that. But when they know that you know how dark they are, how evil they are, and you still like them, it's the Bonnie and Clyde type of connection. You guys bond through your dark side. You got to be able to accept people's dark side in people, be able to identify it, let them know that you accept it, as long as it's not criminal, right? Because those things bond people together. Dark sides bond people together, you know? And you've been there, man. People knowing all of your evil shit. That's why we love our parents, because our parents know our evil shit. Our parents know how bad we really are, and they still love us back. And so that type of acceptance regresses people to their childlike state, and that means when they start to feel uncontrollable emotions with the sensation of oxytocin and a deep connection with the person. It is highly addictive, because that's what we got when we were children, and we got high off of that. And as adult, we yearn of people who to accept us like our parents did, you know? And those are the qualities that people find irresistible. I'm telling you, right? It's not, we're not talking about physical things, sex, right? These are deep human needs, especially the one about understanding your dark side and being understood. People, if you're able to accept people's dark side that are not shit that's not criminal, right? People aren't going to be attracted to you. It's that simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I've been asked, how can I purchase all of your courses in one, Father Alex? So I created the Mindful Attraction University, people. That's right. Professor Alex will be giving you all of the courses at a discounted rate. Usually, if you purchase everything at the basic courses, it comes down at $600. Or you could purchase the whole bundle, where it's all of my courses and the bundle. And in reality, if you purchase all of my courses, it'll come out with the bundle. It'll come out to $1,200. But purchasing all of the courses, including the bundles, it'll come down to $799 or 4 payments of $200, right? And in that, you get all of my courses with all of the bundles, ladies and gentlemen, okay? If you purchase all of the courses, the basic courses, you can purchase it right now at just $400 or $399 for marketing purposes, right? And this basic course gets all of them. It gets Emotional Mastery, which is a course on how to master your emotions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is like from start to finish. You know, it has everything. Emotional Mastery, the Psychological Game of Attraction, which is a course for single women. The Feminine Woman, which is a course for the everyday woman, how to blend your feminine and your masculine, how to learn how to penetrate people's mind, how to be persuasive, how to move up in the business world, how to set and achieve goals, how to use your feminine and how to use your masculine, how to gain respect, how to move up in the business ladder. Like that, this course is a course that will show women how to bring their feminine in their daily lives and not let it sabotage you, because it does happen. And then you have Natural Chemistry, which is a course for women who are in relationships and want to learn how to get the respect of their man, how to not let the power dynamics turn against them. It's a course for women who are in relationships and they want to learn how to deepen the bond or how to gain respect for the person that they're seeing. Now, the next one is the Charisma Blueprint. So this course is all about how to develop charisma. So even if you're the most bland white rice type of person, this course will teach you how to have charisma no matter how you are. I'm not even kidding with you. It could be a fucking Teletubby and you'll be able to have charisma with this course. And the last one is Nice Girl, which is a course on how to develop more assertiveness. I believe all of these courses, it has everything a woman needs to improve their personal lives, dating lives, spiritual lives, business life, career life, right? Because it encompasses everything that I have in this course. All the 3,000 videos that I have, everything that you need is in this one university. Okay? Now, like I said, there are no refunds. If you don't think you're gonna like this course, and that just means maybe you don't know my videos, or maybe you never purchased like one of my courses. So I recommend you check out one course, and if you don't like that one course, get your money back. But if you like one of the courses, you're gonna like all of them, because they do what they say they're gonna do. Okay? So, but look, man, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna offer a refund, but if you really, really need a refund, God forbid, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm not gonna freaking be a stifler. I'll give it to you, but please just don't. Just make sure you want to get it when you purchase this. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to, click on the description down below, purchase the basic package, which is the wifey bundle, or the wifey bundle plus the bonuses. By clicking on the description down below, there's 2 links for it. Okay, and I'll see you guys inside. Thank you for supporting Father Alex.